I took the last stuff.
Then like,
By telling us what you're doing here today.
okay. My name is Chris Will. I'm the president of Firm Initiative at CHRISWILL. Tonight we just out here to show consistency. Um, the pressure that people see us apply in the protest. I think people got the wrong idea from the jump. I think people um, were confused about the message that people were out here. Most of the time, they say, "Oh, they're just doing donuts," or "They're just out there tearing up stuff." But if you were actually here on the feet on the ground, you would know the difference. That's why I constantly tell people to come out and see for yourself, and don't rely on like secondhand information. Um, we've been very knowledgeable about um, stuff we did in the past, stuff that didn't work, and we everything we're gonna do now is gonna be effective. And I want everybody, like I said, I just want to keep pushing that narrative. I want everybody to come out. I feel like now, I feel like this the agenda's been made neutral. You can't call us looters and riders no more if no one is looting and riding. So we're gonna kill that whole narrative right now. Um, the verdict yesterday, very upsetting for a lot of people. Um, a lot of people was like, "Oh, are we surprised? Why would we be surprised at somebody doing their job? If you go to the McDonald's drive-through and you order a number one, when you go to the window, you expect the number one out the window. So it's like um, you can say the systems failed us again. You can say the system doesn't work and all that stuff, but it's supposed to. Anything that's assembled to work and has a lot of moving parts, it's supposed to work. And we just want it to work for us. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure that it works for us. Um, we appreciate everybody that's standing on side of us, lifting us up, our allies, the media, 502 live streamers. But we're definitely trying to move toward the legislative part, getting into the meetings. Greg Fisher, we definitely need a meeting. Erica Shields, we definitely need a meeting. Metro Council, we definitely need a meeting. These things need to happen. If we got to go around people this time, we're going to go around them. We lost a lot of time just taking people at face value and them telling us something they're going to do. So this time we're not waiting on anything. Um, and like I said, some people might not like the way the we protest, but like I said last night, and what we learned from the last big wave of protesting is that you just can't tell anyone how to protest. Everybody's going to protest in their own way. Um, you might not like how somebody else protests. Somebody else might like it. It's not really like a rule book or a handbook. Like, oh, Louisville protest guidelines. Like, so we just want to make sure we keep pushing our narrative that we're not letting this go. We're not going to lay down and take that verdict and just be like, oh well, we're not surprised. No, I want to be surprised when y'all actually do y'all job. I want to be actually shocked, mouth dropping, hitting the ground that Louisville Metro Police Department is being held accountable. Um, it's just so much stuff that runs hand in hand with the Breonna Taylor case. So I don't want everybody to think that like, I'm just like, oh, he's veering off topic. It's a lot of moving parts of this stuff because we can talk about gun violence. We protested in the worst gun violence in the city. Did anybody ever say we could have died while we was marching? It says people was literally getting shot at that rate. Like nobody knew who was going to get shot. So I want people to know that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. So a lot of stuff that people want us to push. Oh, well, why aren't y'all marching for gun violence? Oh, how do you know that? How do you know we not? How do you know we're not having meetings? How do you know we're not talking to the uh, human engagement unit with the Louisville Metro Police Department to get community engagement going to mend the relationship with the community and the cops. So and that's a lot of and that's we actually did a lot of that, and so it's a lot of moving parts to this, but this time we're going to be effective, and I keep saying that word because last time the big word was accountability. So I feel like a lot of stuff we did out of emotion. This time everybody's on their p's and q's, and we know what to do. So anybody got any questions?
With the verdict yesterday, Louisville is kind of back on the national stage again. Bringing back 2020 Breonna Taylor. I mean that's you see it trending on Twitter, you see it everywhere. So what message do you want people beyond Louisville to take away if they see this?
I want people that's elsewhere to understand that basically everybody that was wanting the verdict to be what it's supposed to be got slapped in the face. Seriously, yesterday. Everybody's it's multiple sources that came out. I think Vice, they dropped a lot of footage, the diagram of the house, and a lot of paperwork and the pictures of the apartment where it happened and everything. This stuff is you can look up. You literally can look these things up, and then matter of fact, I challenge everybody that here around the world, look up this information about Breonna Taylor case, and play Brett Hankinson's his testimony, and look at that diagram. And when he says he was over here at the window, the big doors and the two windows right here, how could you see anything when there's a walkway right here that you have to walk back to the door to see? But you're all the way around the other side of the building. Lie number one. That's all I gotta say. So when you find one, it's more. Then he said, "Oh, this stuff happened in 10 seconds." Do you know how fast 10 seconds is? That's pretty quick. So all those rounds were shot in 10 seconds. That makes the police look very bad. So think about it. All the amount of rounds were shot in 10 seconds. That is bad. That is very bad. So like, I don't know who his team was, his advisors was, but they didn't do a good job.
Well, you said that you guys learned a lot of lessons from those protests, and how. And you said one of the biggest lessons was knowing that protests, not everybody has the same kind of protest. How is that going to kind of shape organization and your message this year?
I think the biggest black eye was it was not solely to put it on the news, but if you I want everybody to pay attention to the comments in the news, okay? We could literally just stand still in the middle of the street and not move. Nothing happened for 30 minutes straight. And they're going to be like, they're looting and rioting. That is crazy. That is crazy. And I feel like there's a lot of people like, oh, just let it go. He's not guilty. Just let it go. You see a lot of these types of comments, but it doesn't affect you. If it doesn't affect you, why are you even tuning in? You know what I'm saying? Because like, I would never see somebody go through a situation or champion for a cause, and because I don't feel it, be like, oh, they're just wasting their time. So we could be wasting our time to whoever, but it's important to us.
Talk about last night's gathering and the march after the verdict, and the feeling that you had, especially when the protest moved down 4th Street Live and stopped in front of a restaurant, and there was acknowledgement from inside instead of degradation.
Great question. That's what we want to push this time too. Protesting is definitely contagious. I think when people understand the message, it's our job to make people understand why we're doing what we're doing. So I feel like we didn't do enough of that the first time. So when we champion our narrative and we're like, this is what we're doing, and any sane human being is going to be like, okay, I can get behind that. No matter what color you are, walk of life, what background you come from, you can empathize with that. And I think it was Brazero's we stopped in front of, and people were eating. Been there, it's a nice restaurant. Flip that card over, it's coming. So everybody was in there, they were putting their fists up and stuff. We didn't make them do that. We didn't make them do that at all. We didn't loot and riot them. We didn't go in there and take a piece of lamb chop off the stick. We were just pushing our narrative. And they raised their fists, they were chanting with us, and we kept moving. Because like I said, it's to make it contagious. We're just trying to ignite the fire in people again. Most people, when I hear that, are like, "Oh, they're trying to incite a riot." No, we just want to make people feel how we feel. And like I said, someone that has a heart can listen to the facts or opinions of this case. And if you don't get teary-eyed, something's wrong.
You say it's really important to say this is what we're saying. If you can put it in one sentence, why are you out tonight?
We're not letting us go. That's it.
Facts. Big facts. Not facts, big facts.
Anybody else want to say something?
As far as next steps, as far as the meetings that desire to be had with Erica Shields and Sanford Fisher, is there a plan?
Definitely. I don't want to discuss it on here.
Not specific.
Not in the specifics, but I feel like a lot of people see me from day one, and I know a lot of people. I know a lot of powerful people. My dad's a powerful person in the city, and it was like, man, you just need to champion this. You need to run for this. You need to run for that. I honestly feel like I don't want to run for any district or run for any kind of political field because you have to lie. Anybody that went to college knows that. To put it simple, Biden said a lot of things he was going to do when he got in office, and he ain't done none of it. Let's get that financial aid for that. Let's get that handled, Biden, if you can, swiftly. Please, for the people that went to college. Anybody else? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Chris.